Okay, so Exodus 7:10. So Moses and his brother Aaron, they go to the Pharaoh, and they say to the Pharaoh, you are to let our fellow countrymen go free. They don't want to be your slaves anymore. Well, they didn't want to be your slaves to start with, but you're to let them go free. And if you don't let them go free, we have been imbued with certain magic powers to prove to you that God means business. And the Pharaoh says, oh, really? Interesting. I'd like to see one of these magic tricks. So Moses says, all right, fair enough. Takes his rod out of his pocket, throws it at the floor. Zap, turns into a snake. Pharaoh says, very good. Very good, Moses. But we have magicians that can do this as well. Moses says, you do? He says, yeah, sure. Moses says, hang on a minute. So he has a word with God. He says, you didn't tell me about this. You didn't tell me you had competition. Where the hell do they get their magic powers from? God says, oh, I don't know. Ask him to prove it. So Moses says, yeah, prove it. Prove that your magicians can do this. So anyway, so the Pharaoh's magicians, they get their rods out, throw them at the floor, zap, they turn into snakes. Moses can't believe it. He says, right, we're going to go away now, but we'll be back. I'll be back. So they go away and they have a bit of a team talk, and they come back at a later date. And Moses says, right, Pharaoh, we've been practicing, we've got a new one for you. Show them, Aaron, show them what you can do. So Aaron turns towards the river. Zap, river turns to blood. Fish can't see where they're going, but the river's turned to blood. And the Pharaoh's impressed. He says, very good. I see you've upped the stakes. That's a really good one. But we can do that one as well. Moses says, you're kidding. He says, no. He says, watch. Zap, river turns to blood. Moses said, no. He said, that's our blood. You didn't wait for that to drain off. That's the same blood. He says, no, it isn't. Anyway, so they argue about it. And the Pharaoh says, look, Moses, go away. Don't come back until you can do something that we can't do. So they go away and have a bit of a think, and then they come back at a later date. And Moses says, right, Pharaoh, got a real classic for you this time. Show him, Aaron, show him what you can do. So Aaron rubs his hands together. Right. Pick a card. He said, not the bloody card trick, the bloody frog trick. Show him the frog trick. All right, the frog trick. So Aaron turns towards the river. Zap. Million frogs come marching out of the river, leaping out, not marching. Oh no, they could march. I've had a frog marching, yeah. So they march out of the river, they march up into Egypt, and they're in the toilets, they're in the sandwiches, they're in people's hair, they're everywhere, these frogs. And the Pharaoh's really impressed. He says, do you know what, Moses, that's your best one yet. That really is a good one. But, hate to rain on your parade, but we can do that one as well. Moses says, no way. He says, yes way. He goes, zap, another million frogs go leaping and marching up into Egypt. Pharaoh says, see, oh shit, that's where we live. Come back, frogs. Get them bloody frogs back. Oh yeah, got me there, Moses, you sneaky bugger. So anyway, so they can't get the frogs back. I don't know whether the batteries are gone in the wands or whatever, they can't do it. So they strike a deal with Moses. They say, okay, Moses, if you can get rid of the frogs, we'll let your countrymen go free. Moses says, all right, fair enough. Zap, every frog dead. And the Pharaoh says, no, that's not what I wanted. I want you to get rid of the frogs. All you've done is killed them. Now they're going to lie there and rot and stink the place up. You've blown it, Moses. I'm sorry, I'm not letting anybody free. Moses, oh, damn. So Moses goes back to God and he says, look, I've done every trick in the book now. I don't know what else to do. What should we do? God says, don't you worry. I've had to think about this. Tell you what we're going to do. Pestilence, to begin with, at least. I'm going to send flies, I'm going to send gnats, I'm going to send mosquitoes, locusts. In fact, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to kill every firstborn male Egyptian child. And the animals as well. Just so to make sure they get the message. Moses said, don't you think that's a little bit extreme? I mean, shouldn't we just send Aaron back and let him do the card trick? He said, no, God's on the job now, you've passed the baton. And so it is. So it was that zap. There were flies, there were mosquitoes, there were locusts. The Pharaoh's going, oh shit, where are the bloody frogs when you need them? You know. And so eventually, Pharaoh, he's had enough. He goes, all right, I've had enough now. Okay, let them go free. So they let the Israelites free and off they go. But he's not happy about this. He's really kind of getting his craw. So he's sitting at home one day and he's thinking about this and smoking a pipe. I need a stiff drink, so he goes to get a stiff drink, puts his slippers on. Squelch. The bloody hell, squelch. Takes his slipper off. There's a dead frog in his slipper. The bloody dead frog in my slipper! Get them bloody Israelites. Send the army out. So the army goes out. They go, bloody dead frog in my slipper. So off they go. The army goes out after the Israelites. Now they're down at the beach by now. They're relaxing. They're having a party. They got the sun cream and the parasol. They got everything, having great time. And Moses suddenly sees the army coming towards them, the Egyptian army. He says, "What the hell? The Egyptian army's coming." God says, "Oh shit! I think he found that dead frog in his slipper." Anyway, so God says, "Don't worry about it. I got a plan. Here's the plan. Get your stick and just kind of like this over the Red Sea, and the Red Sea will part, and you'll all be able to run across the middle." Moses says, "Great, brilliant. Right, where's my stick? Can I do it without the stick?" And God says, "Don't you know anything about parting water? You need the bloody stick." Oh, crap. Oh, there's the stick. So he gets the stick, and he just gets the stick, and he goes, "By the power of Grayskull, you are the..." Nearly got myself in trouble then. "You are the power." And the Red Sea parts, two giant walls of water. It's all dry in the middle, and they all run across. Now, this is where I have a bit of a problem with the story. I mean, okay, so far, literal truth. But if I'd have been one of the captains of the Egyptian army, and I'd have seen these two giant walls of water, and the Israelites running across the middle, my immediate thoughts would have been, "Do you know what, fellas? I think God's on their side. Let's go to lunch, you know." But instead they just look and go, "Ooh, interesting natural phenomenon. Let's go." And they follow them. Then Moses turns his stick around again, zap, the water comes in, and they all drown. So, what do we take from this story? Well, the way I see it is this. If only Moses had have allowed Aaron to do that bloody card trick in the first place, maybe none of this would have happened. But I suppose we'll never know. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll be back again with you sometime, God willing. Until then, goodbye.